Good evening. It's a special edition of Insider's Room Bracket Breakdown. We'll be looking at the Midwest region, and tonight I'm lucky to have Mr. Legion of Picks on tonight to break down the West region and let him give us his insights on what he likes in this bracket. We'll just start
Yeah,
out.
well, they have on the show tonight there, Dan. And yeah, there's maybe some surprising picks going forward here, but nothing too crazy in this bracket. I think it's actually one of the harder brackets to select from as far as these teams are concerned. I think it's really a stacked bracket, but yeah, there might be a surprise here or there. So we'll get into it and find out. So
I'm sure I got a surprise or two up my sleeve here. So all right,
yeah.
let's look at the 116-8-9 matchups. Obviously, Illinois, they're 22.5 point favorite over Drexel. I don't obviously you don't see it. Go ahead.
Yeah, my take on a spread that big, I think Illinois is definitely gonna play pretty tough, but Drexel could definitely cover that spread late if Illinois decides to rest players later in the second half here, because it just depends on the game that they're going to have to play going forward. So to me, if I'm Illinois, I'm probably going to be resting my players. 4 or 5 minutes left in the second half, and that way Drexel has a chance to maybe cover. But Drexel might be down by 35 by then anyway, so who knows? We'll see. So,
right, yeah. I mean, I don't. Yeah, obviously, I don't see this as being anything close to like the Virginia upset. A couple 3 years ago. I mean, it's and I usually stay away from these games. I mean, back in the day, I used to always bet these, and it always seemed like every time I bet the big favorites, they wouldn't cover, and if I bet the big dogs, they'd always get blown out. So I've just decided it's not even worth trying anymore. So I usually just let these
it's
go.
over 20 points for me. I'm kind of like, well, I'll just wait it out here, especially in the tournament. Beginning of a season and stuff, like, okay, give me Illinois minus 22 versus Drexel beginning of the season, but in these situations, you just gotta just stay away from it. Just know Illinois is going to win, and go on.
And wait for the next rounds. Yeah. All right.
Exactly.
This is an interesting matchup. Number 8, Loyola Chicago. They're 2-point favorites over number 9 in the ACC tournament champ Georgia Tech.
Yep.
Here's the thing. I listen to a lot of Chicago station, sports station, and Porter Moser made a kind of an interesting point. The NCAA has the net rating, right? It's the NCAA evaluation tool, and they're supposed to use this to evaluate.
Yeah.
And you made a point that you got the first 4, number one to number 4 in the net got the top 4 seeds.
Yep.
Number 5 to number 8 got the number 2, all got number 2 seeds.
Yep.
Loyola Chicago was 10, and they got an 8 seed, and then they get the ACC champ. So
exactly, yeah, and I'm going to ride the hot hand here and take Georgia Tech myself. I just like what they've been doing later in the part of the year here. Beginning of the year, they were a little shaky, but as the last 8 games, they've definitely picked it up. And winning the ACC, that's a big deal. So I think they're going to ride momentum going forward. And they do have a little bit of a size advantage versus Loyola Chicago, because Loyola Chicago's big man. Yeah, he might be like 250, I think 245. But he's only like 6'9", 6'10". And then the next biggest guy, I want to say he's like 6'6" or 6'7", where Georgia Tech has a 6'10" and a 6'9", and then I believe they have a 6'6" and a 6'7" guy as well. So I think they'll definitely have the size advantage going forward in this one. But if Loyola Chicago is going to win this game, I think they need to, shoot at a high percentage like they have in their tournament. And slow and steady wins them the game. It seems like, they just move at a snail's pace, and it works for them. And for Georgia Tech to definitely win, that M. Wright guy, he definitely needs to have a good game. And I'd like to see them push the tempo a little bit more, because it seems like when they push the tempo, good things happen. And they just need to have some lockdown defense as well. So I have Georgia Tech winning here, but it's going to be slim margins, and that's probably going to come down to free throws late in the game here. So definitely take Georgia Tech on the spread +3. I think there's a lot of value in that. And Loyola Chicago, they can win, but I'll take Georgia Tech and in a pick 'em game pretty much, really, in my opinion. So
Well, Loyola Chicago comes in, I think, with the number one defense in the country, and they're letting Sister Jean come.
Well,
They're
yeah,
they're letting
there is some
Sister Jean
magic
come.
there.
It's breaking news today. Sister Jean's allowed to make it down to Indianapolis. I'm going with the good sister, and I'm going to take Loyola in this one and see what happens.
Well, yeah, I was leaning them to begin with, but then I don't know. I just got to, take Georgia Tech, ride that momentum a little bit, and they just play the better competition, than Loyola Chicago does. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'd say I don't. My thing about the Georgia, I don't. Georgia Tech would have won the ACC tournament, going all the way through and playing every game. I might have gave them riding the momentum, but they only played 2 games and they didn't have to play in the semifinal. So,
yeah, because of Duke's situation there. But you should be happy about Duke's situation, though. So let's.
Yeah, well, of course.
Yeah,
but it wasn't Duke though. It was Virginia. It was Virginia. They were supposed to play Virginia in the semifinals.
Oh, that's right. That is right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
that's
all right,
correct.
It's all right. They are a good team, and yeah, I'm just gonna go with Sister Jean, and hopefully see if they can make another. To be honest, I don't think either one of these teams is gonna make it past the next round anyway. So
no, they're not. Oh yeah, they're definitely not here. Yeah.
All right, so move right around here. We got number 5, Tennessee minus 7.5 against number 12 in the Pac-12, surprising Pac-12 champ, Oregon State.
It's a surprising Pac-12 deal there because I know when I did the Pac-12 deal on the show here last, I didn't have them in there in the championship round. I did have Colorado though, and I was hoping they would win, and they tried to come back late and just didn't make it happen. So it is a surprise to have Oregon State in here. So you can say they have some momentum here since it's a surprise. But Tennessee, I definitely like them going forward. But the problem with Tennessee is I think they have that Jay Fulkerson guy. If he's still out, I don't know if Tennessee can get past him, honestly, because then they're going to be at a size disadvantage here. So hopefully that guy can play to some fashion in that sense. But even if he doesn't play, I still have Tennessee winning the game. But I think Oregon State definitely covers that spread. So I'm going to take Oregon State on the spread, plus 7.5 or plus 8. So that's my take on that one for sure. So.
Yeah, I just Tennessee, to me, I don't know. It seems like seems lately they seem to be very inconsistent. I mean, they can look great they can look great at times, and then they just stink. So yeah, it's what's Tennessee team's going to show up in this one, as you said, Fulkerson, Ben, what he's going to do. So yeah, I don't really have a strong lean either way on this one right at the moment, but.
I know a couple people they're taking Oregon State for that 12-5, upset, and I don't blame them. I mean, if Fulkerson is out, I might go that way myself, but we don't know the news yet, so I'm still sticking with Tennessee as of right now. But if he is out, I might lean a little bit more Oregon State. So for sure, I'm taking the spread for Oregon State regardless. So
all right, next one. Oklahoma State -9 versus Liberty. This line's gone up a little. I liked it a lot better at the opening at 7.5. But
no, and honestly, I think Liberty can cover the spread here. Everyone's just kind of washing them off the deal here. And they're a team that they got 3 scores that score double digits, and sometimes they have 4, pretty consistently, or pretty close to the guy scoring 9 points, to 10 points, and so if they can be consistent and spread the ball well here, I think Liberty, can cover the spread. It's not, I don't think there's going to be a close game. I think Oklahoma State's still going to win, but at the +9 for Liberty, I think there's value there. But yeah, +7 or something like that, or +6, there'd be no value. You'd just be Oklahoma State all day. So yeah, I mean Oklahoma State, we know what they've done. They made it to the Pac-12 or Big 12 championship game. They lost to Texas there by a slim margin. So it's going to be Cade Cunningham time here. So we're going to see what he's made of, and his first tournament game here. I think he's going to come and show out, and maybe Liberty has nothing to stop him, and we'll just have to find out here on that one. But yeah, I would give the slight edge to Liberty covering the spread at that +9. But I wouldn't be surprised if Oklahoma State, wins by 15 or 20 either. So
yeah, well, Liberty's got God on their side.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure so much anymore after Falwell, the whole Falwell thing. But hey, that's another story for another show. But yeah,
so they won their tournament champion, right? Their Atlantic Sun tournament, and they shoot the three, really good as well. If they can shoot at, that 39% and or actually get up to 42, 43%, that's what's going to keep them in the game here. And so if they're going to live and die by that on this game. And if they're shooting at, 25, 30% from three land, they're not going to stay close to Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State's just going to be too physical for them too. So, we'll see. If they're shooting the three early, they're going to be in that game. So,
yeah, Liberty's turned it on this year. I mean, football, they were really good in football. They made the tournament in basketball. For small Christian school, they don't do so bad. All right.
No, they don't. Yeah, it's yeah. So we'll see. I think people are just kind of writing them off because they don't know a whole lot about them, and so that's why that line's probably going to go up to -10 for Oklahoma State, probably.
Yeah. I'll talk more about Oklahoma State as we move on. I don't want to spoil everything right now. Well, next game, I find this is an interesting game. San Diego State's -2.5 against number 11 Syracuse. Syracuse is always tough in these tournaments because you're going against that freak defense that Boeheim throws out there, and teams don't see it, they can't prepare for it, and
the good news is for San Diego, they actually have a couple of days to prepare for it, right? So that is the good news going into this. So they'll have the advantage, So Syracuse wins this game, the next team's going to be at a disadvantage because they have no time to prepare for the zone defense, So San Diego has that advantage to prepare for it. But I think Syracuse is going to win here, and it's going to come down, free throws, and Syracuse shoots free throws at a better percentage than San Diego State there. And so I'm going to take Syracuse in this one, not just because the defense, but late in the game here, the free throws is what's going to make the difference. And I firmly believe that they're going to, and it's going to be, probably an ugly game. It's going to be, probably a low scoring one in my opinion. And I think, Syracuse will win by probably 2 or 3 points here, just late. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like Syracuse.
So that's one of my upsets right there. So
I like Syracuse in this one also, but I would just tend to disagree a little bit on the thing because they might have 2 days to prepare for it, but the ACC teams has had years to prepare for it, and they always seem to they sometimes they still can't figure it out. So I just think it's difficult. I remember a couple of years ago when they beat a very good Michigan State team, and Michigan State had no answer, So I think this is going to be a really good game, but a really good matchup. It kind of be a fun matchup. I think it's going to be close either way, and it's going to come down to can San Diego State hit their shots and
that's going to be key because San Diego State shoots the 3-point really well, so that is their advantage. So if they're knocking that down, that's going to definitely help them out here, and they're going to have to play up tempo so that defense doesn't get set. So those are the keys really for San Diego to win this game. But regardless, I would definitely take Syracuse on the spread, at that +3 mark or +2.5, wherever it's at right now. And then, but I have Syracuse winning in the upset. So.
All right. I'll go along with you on that one. All right. This was your team.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
West Virginia, you're touting them up in the Big 12 show. Maybe if they would have won that to go into the Final Four, I'd like to interested in your thoughts now. They're 12.5 point favorites in this game over Morehead State, but
they're not. They could actually they could lose to this team here. They really could here. I don't have them losing, but the Morehead State's going to cover that spread, and it's going to be closer than a lot of people think. I'm going to give Morehead State here a lot of credit. I think they only lose probably by 5 or 7, somewhere in that range here. And if shots are falling and stuff's not going well for West Virginia, look out. There might be upset alert here, in this one. But I do have West Virginia winning here by 5 or 7 points, somewhere in that range. Because I think they're just going to outclass them at the end of the day. And they just play the West Virginia, all the Big 12 and the Big 10 schools. They're just all battle tested, so they play tough opponents week in and week out, and so it's really hard to say they're not going to show up here against Morehead State and actually, win, and just lay an egg here. So I think they're going to show up and win. It's not going to cover the spread, though. I'd be shocked if they do. So.
Now, this is an interesting game. Number 7, Clemson against number 10, Rutgers. I think this is the only game in this region, and I think it's the only game I've seen. I think this whole day that the lower seed is actually favored.
Yeah, and I have Rutgers winning this. Both teams here, the defensive efficiency they're both like in the top 20 here, and so. Per Ken Palm rankings anyways. And so when you see that, I think it's going to definitely be a lower scoring game. But Ron Hopper Jr., he really needs to step up, and I think, this is his time to shine here on the big stage. And I like, Rutgers came out of the gate pretty hot, and then they just hit a brick wall, picked up a few wins, hit another brick wall. Now they picked up a couple wins here, so I think they're trending in the right direction. So I got them winning this game. I think they win probably by 4 or 5, somewhere in that realm. I'm just going off more battle tested than Clemson is. And I think they're going to be just fine here in this matchup.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. Yeah, again, Clemson is one of those teams. I mean, they can look great, and then they can look terrible. And, it's their Jekyll and Hyde team. You never know what you're going to get from them. So, yeah, I think Rutgers is a pretty solid team. They're not real flashy, but I mean, they do enough to get the job done. So yeah, I kind of like Rutgers in that one.
Yeah.
And the last first round match of that day is number 2 Houston -20 against number 15 Cleveland State.
Yeah, and this one, there's a couple people I know that they're thinking Cleveland State can have an upset here, and I'm like, I don't know about that. I'm not going to go out on that limb and say that's an upset here. I think Cleveland State can cover the spread of 20, but Houston's going to win. I don't know why people are thinking Cleveland State has a good chance here. I don't think they do. So. Maybe someone will prove me wrong here, but yeah.
Yeah, well, this is the one big spread that I actually like the favorite to cover. I mean, I like this Houston team, and I think, they just play the way they play, and I think if they can impose their will on Cleveland State, I think they have a good chance of blowing this game wide open. And
you're correct. That's what's going to happen.
And it'd be like it's like we were talking about the Illinois game. It all depends on what Houston does, and do they pull everybody out with 6, 7, 8 minutes to go when they're up 30, and Cleveland State gets a backdoor cover is what. Yeah, that's the only thing. That's the only thing you got to worry about with these big spreads. But if it's, I think Houston can cover the spread.
Yep.
So, all right. So let's kind of put your crystal ball going forward. Any kind of matchups down the road that could happen that you're really interested in seeing?
Yeah. Well, on your Houston team here, I think they're going to lose to Rutgers in the next round. And I'm just going to go with, Rutgers and their defense here. I'm just going to ride that out and just play that they've more battle tested than Houston is. I do like that Houston squad though. It would be a close game, and Rutgers is going to have to do everything correct. And especially their free throws. Rutgers' free throw percentage is some of the worst in the nation here. So if they can, hit their free throws a little bit better in some of these games that they've only lost by 5 or 7, they might have won some of those games, but they can't hit free throws for whatever reason. I mean, I think they're like 200 and something out of the nation. It was something stupid. I'm like, well, dang, you need to hit free throws if you're going to make it further in my book. So we're going to rely on they're going to make some free throws and change, and hopefully that's going to carry them past Houston here. So that'd be an upset moving forward. And then I have West Virginia beating Syracuse in a close one. I think they'll just edge them out on the offensive end here. And my guy, Culver, he's gonna come to play finally, and make a statement in this tournament. I'm pretty sure. And then you're gonna have Tennessee and Oklahoma State, in my opinion, play potentially against each other. I have Oklahoma State going on in that one. And then obviously Illinois, they're going to get past Georgia Tech or, Loyola Chicago. I don't think that's going to even be a fair matchup. Whoever plays Illinois in that round, I think Illinois is just going to mop the floor with them. So, Illinois is coming together at the perfect time of year, just kind of like they did last year. And I think they're a force to be reckoned with right now. So, and then if you go further, I guess, trying to get down into the let's see here, the Sweet 16. I have West Virginia getting to there, beating Rutgers, so they're going to get to the Elite Eight, and that's where West Virginia dies in my bracket, is the Elite Eight. I would have had them go to the Final Four, but they're not going to get past Illinois here. Illinois is going to the Final Four, so that's who I have, and I actually have Illinois winning the whole thing, so that's where I'm at. So.
All right. Yeah, I have Syracuse beating West Virginia.
Yep.
But I have Illinois coming out of that bracket, and I think I have them actually on the covers bracket. I think I have them losing to actually Gonzaga in the finals. But
yeah.
Okay, all right. So let's take Illinois out of the picture. Who would be your dark horse to come out of this bracket?
I would say Georgia Tech. I think I would like to see them go on here if they can get past that tough first test here. I would like to see that, but it's going to be a tough matchup because the size advantage that Illinois has down there, and that defense is just so fierce at times. I don't think Georgia Tech would have an answer, but if they do for some reason in that game and Illinois isn't, hitting their shots, because it does happen, some teams, they just can't hit their shots and, that's, causes an L. So that'd be one of them to look at. And then the other one, I guess, would be Oklahoma State at a 4 seed, but that's not really an upset, right? I guess a 4, beat.
No, I'm not really saying an upset. I'm just saying if it's not Illinois, who do you think it'd be?
Yeah.
It's not to be an upset.
I would say either Georgia Tech or Oklahoma State. And Oklahoma State I'd probably favor a little bit more, honestly, because I like what they've been doing lately as a team. And it's not all Cade Cunningham, because you've seen games where, he can be the star getting you 25-some points a game, and then he can just be the floor facilitator and spread the ball around, and he only scored 10, 15 points a game, and they still win the game. So they can win the game with him scoring or not really scoring, and so that's what I like about that team.
But they won games when he wasn't even playing, when he hurt his ankle. So exactly. If I got one team that's not Illinois, it's this Oklahoma State team. And I said on another show that, to me, it reminds me a lot. And you're old enough to remember this, I think, the 1988 Danny and the Miracles, that Kansas team.
Oh yeah, yep, the Kansas, yep.
Yep, I actually saw that. I actually saw them. They were in I think it was Midwest Regional. It was in Detroit, and they were there. That was the year they won it, and they won that. Obviously, they won that regional. But Purdue was there as a number 1 seed with Troy Lewis. You had Will Purdue and Vanderbilt and Mitch Richmond at K-State. It's probably one of the worst regional finals that there was that year, but at least it produced a national championship, so I can at least say I saw that. But that was the funny thing about that. That's where, like, cause I don't know if you see me post sometimes. Every time I take Purdue, I always post Purdue, and I think that's right. I think that's where I first heard it from, because Purdue was the number 1 seed and it was in Detroit, so they had like half the stadium. And
Purdue's known
they
for that though. Constantly,
yeah.
they're just known for that. I
And if
mean,
they,
Nick, spoiler alert here. I actually have Purdue beating Baylor, so there's that. So we'll see.
see, actually, I have Purdue losing to North Carolina.
And yeah, because you're gonna have because so that means North Carolina's gonna beat Baylor just right out of the next game, and that could happen. North Carolina's coming together at the right time too, and so that's yeah.
I haven't beat North Carolina only because of their size. Now,
Yep.
the only problem with North Carolina is they got young guards, and they turn the ball over a lot, and if they do that, then they're in trouble. But if they can cut down the turnovers, that size they have, and Baylor's not big.
No, they're not. Nope.
And they play three guards, and they're not big. And if you get those, I mean, and North Carolina's got at least three big guys that can play, or four. They got that white guy that had 8 blocks in the one.
That freshman guy, that came out of nowhere like 4 games ago, 5 games ago.
Yeah, he had like 8 blocks. They got him. They got they got Brooks and Baggett and Sharp. Yeah, they're just loaded down in the paint. So I think they could give Baylor trouble in that one. So all right, so
I think there's gonna be a lot more upsets in this tournament than years prior, honestly. And then what's gonna really suck here is one team potentially, they got COVID, someone tested positive, now they're out of the tournament, right? So then someone's gonna potentially get a free bye, a walkover situation, and that's gonna mess up so many people's brackets. And then, well, dang, this person got a rest. Now I want him to advance more than this person, right? So, and I hope we don't see any of that, because guess what? There's already been 4 refs replaced already, I believe.
And 6 or something, yeah.
Or is it 6? Yeah. So it's like refs are already being replaced. What's the quality of refs going to be, in this tournament now?
Yeah, but one of them was Teddy Valentine. I'm glad he's gone.
Well, he was one of the lower guys there for sure. But we'll just see. I just hope there's not any delays with none of that happening, because that's gonna suck for any team that gets involved with that. So we'll definitely find out, but it should be interesting nonetheless. And hopefully we're still gonna do like a whole show of the breakdown of the whole tournament, right? Hopefully get together with the other guys there.
That's the plan. Hopefully Thursday, do it Thursday night just before. Yeah. So whoever can come on, we'll just sit down and kind of do a round table and sit around and just BS about the tourney. All right, sounds good. Sounds great, great information, great breakdown, and hopefully all your bets are winners in the next couple of days. And
I hope so too. It'd make me happy anyway. So I appreciate you having me on.
Yep, no problem. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for your knowledge, and I'll see you Thursday.
All righty, take care.
Take care. That was Legion of Picks, one of the Insiders Room's original members, breaking down the Midwest bracket for you. Hope you got some good information out of there, and you can use that to your advantage and take some money from the books. We'll be on tomorrow with a couple more bracket, or the rest of the bracket breakdowns. There may be a late one tonight. I'm not sure. I'm waiting on one of the people to come in, but if not, all 3 brackets, the rest of the 3 brackets will be broken down tomorrow on tomorrow's show. And then we're looking to have a big full tourney talk fest on Thursday evening. So that'll be it for this edition of the Insiders Room Bracket Breakdown. I'll catch you next time.